I can't think of anything better than pussy. You can't think of anything better. Unfortunately, I just don't think of you too much. Now, Willie, Johnny Patterson responded paternally, you know you doing good if you manage to stay awake past them Sanford and Son reruns you watch on BET, let alone be out at night doing any shark hunting. Yeah, Willie, Kelvon Ulysses Little chimed in. You ain't even sniffed none since that chick you was seeing was managing the bowling alley over on Gage. Little, co-owner of the Abyssinia barbershop and shine parlor on South Broadway, adjusted the blinds to shunt some of the morning sun beaming through his dingy picture window. Globules of sweat gathered on Willie Brandt's hairless head. He closed the Jet magazine he'd been looking at, careful to keep his thumb on the page where the tender young thing in the bikini could be found. Look here, that Doris could make a stuttering man speechified like James Earl Jones. You know she had some Spanish blood, he leered. Nobody's arguing that, Willie, Abe Carson added. The rangy carpenter had his long legs stretched out as he leafed through a back issue of Carcraft. The point was, when was the last time you got up close to some? That is, if you can remember what it looks like, Patterson chuckled. Brandt snorted like a cornered ram. I've turned down more pussy you silly motherfuckers would sell your mama's gold teeth for. Nigga, please! Little's laugh melded with the others for several moments. Old Man Spears ambled out of the restroom in the back, hitching up his slacks. He did a final adjustment with his suspenders and took up his usual position next to the Trumanera Philco radio. He passed a calloused hand over the curvature of its peeling walnut veneer as if it were an ever-constant pet. He turned it on before going to the bathroom, so in the 5 minutes it took him to return, the instrument was sufficiently warmed up to receive a signal. The shop contained a TV plugged into cable, which perched overhead in one corner. The device was handy for the basketball games, tractor pulls, and the other pursuits of mass entertainment afforded on such venues as the Speed Channel and the various incarnations of ESPN. But something about Saturdays and Old Man Spears made the use of the reliable Philco the right combination of sound and imagination, the TV too distracting at times to the conversational flow of subjects of import to the mind and lesser regions of the body. What about you, Abe? Little winked to the gathered men as Darcy Wiles sat in the chair to get his hair cut. Didn't I see you in a three-piece going into the high top the other week? Trying to be all GQ like you don't work with your hands? You wouldn't see me where I go, good brother, Carson drawled in his baritone. I keep my business on the quiet like. You mean in your dreams? Brandt needled. He leaned forward to look down the row of seats. What about you, Monk? You ain't got nothing to offer? Ivan Monk was browsing through a copy of the Watts Times, a neighborhood-free paper that carried news from an angle the white press often missed. He'd been perusing an ad for an upcoming blues show at the Olympic Auditorium. The event featured some local talent he wanted to see. I'm just a man who tries to keep the lawn trim and the grout clean. You had all kinds of pussy when you was in the merchants, didn't you, Monk? Patterson inquired sincerely, his cool dangling up and down as he spoke. Monk turned a page. I don't like to be so crude, Johnny. The men all made noises of disbelief.